Do I think that the claims that aliens abduct people or that aliens even exist is extraordinary? Yeah, absolutely. I do, because it's unfamiliar. Just like if we look at what this originated from was the fact that you had said that you believe that the claims that Jesus Christ was resurrected was extraordinary. And I agree, it was extraordinary. And why do we think that both of these things are extraordinary? It's because they're not familiar. But let me ask you something. Can we both agree that the sun is real? Yeah, we can. We see it all the time. It's familiar. Now, let's just pretend that we are time travelers and we go 500 years into the future. And it just so happens that civilization as we know it has fallen. Nobody lives on the surface. Now, we are trapped in bunkers, underground. And we've been down there for hundreds of years. No one that's down there has ever seen the surface. And we get on to the topic of the fact that over 500 years ago, there was a nuclear fusion that floated in the air. And it burned on the surface at 10,000 degrees. And how do we know that? Not 100% sure, but we do know that it was over 90 million miles away. But even though it was 90 million miles away, it had the ability to provide enough heat and enough light to the earth in a way that would sustain life. Now, even though it was 10,000 degrees and it was this gigantic nuclear fusion that was a burning ball of fire, somehow it positioned itself in a perfect spot that it would not, it wouldn't burn Earth and it wouldn't freeze Earth, and it never went out. And it would perfectly come back every single morning like clockwork. And now to go even further, this big gigantic ball of fire, believe it or not, it had the ability to change the climate. It controlled the weather. Not only did it give us all the light and it gave us all the heat, but it also was the reason for our food production. And you want to hear something super crazy? Is it gave us things called seasons. And it would make the trees change colors. And it would make their leaves shed on a reoccurring schedule. And it barely ever, it did not miss a beat. If you tried to explain that to somebody who had never seen the sun, I got a pretty good feeling that they would have a hard time believing you. They might even tell you that it was unbelievable. I would even be willing to bet they would probably go as far as to tell you that it sounded a little bit like mythology. And I wouldn't even put it past them if they looked at you and told you that sounds extraordinary. I don't put anything past anything. Just because I'm willing to learn about something that's extraordinary doesn't always mean that I fully believe it. But if there's evidence that supports it, I'm not going to turn it down just because it's extraordinary. I think it's extraordinary that two cells can come together, and one of those cells can turn into 1 trillion cells, and it can grow a heart that will beat before the brain is ever even developed. There are so many things that are within our foundation that are extraordinary, like genuinely extraordinary. But to us, it's just another thing because we're used to it.